What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bladed Wedge Show. It's July 28th, 2020. We're just guys who love watching golf, talking golf, and most importantly, playing golf. If you don't already, follow us on Twitch and Instagram. That's the best places to keep up with what we're doing and kind of the content we're throwing out there. I'm Trey Vizzetti. I'm here with my good friend, Alex Checo. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Welcome back to the East Coast.
Back on the East Coast. As you can see, I'm in my New York apartment. It's 95 degrees here. It's going to be 94 a week. I have no AC. I'm sweating. I'm trying to get my work done, but it is pretty brutal conditions out here. But that being said, I'm glad to be back.
How different of a vibe is it from staying on Lake Michigan versus an apartment in East Manhattan?
Absolutely hugely different vibe.
Got to be night and day.
It's night and day. I was literally just sitting, playing golf every day at 5:30, looking out the water, jumping in the lake to swim. And then now I'm back in Soho, in Manhattan, just sweating. There's people everywhere. It's just kind of grimy as New York is in the summer. But it's also good to be back and kind of focusing on work and stuff that I have to do. It feels like I've been on vacation for a little bit too long, if that is even possible.
Nah, I definitely get that. How long are you staying in New York for before you venture back, or are you kind of there for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I'm here. I need to find a new apartment at the end of August, so that's kind of my focus right now. I'll probably head back in September for at least a long weekend to rip a little golf. Maybe you can sneak up and we'll get a couple rounds in. So that's my plans for right now, but we'll see as everything's a little bit up in the air with the pandemic.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And as you guys know, it is Tuesday. Usually we're Sunday or Monday. You can catch us usually by Monday afternoon. All of our stuff is out. We had to push. I was traveling Sunday, and then Chuck had a big golf tourney yesterday. Tell us how it went.
Yeah, it was good. So I think I might have mentioned this before, but the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, does member play days, where if you're a member of the Golf Association of Philadelphia, they host different events every Monday at different country clubs around the Philadelphia area. And you could sign up and you could register for them, and it's an open play day. And me and three of my buddies went out yesterday, played Lanark Country Club. Super tough track, very cool club. One of those type courses where the rough was super long. It's been so hot and dry here that the greens are rolling pretty quick. And if you weren't in the fairway, you were kind of screwed. So it was good. I had 82, hit driver really well. Short game, just rusty. That just comes with the lack of play, as always.
Yeah.
As always. But it was a great day. Glad we were able to get out. No rain. All in all, it was a home run.
That's awesome. That sounds like a great time and a cool thing by the Golf Association of Philadelphia to let you sneak out on those Mondays. I'm sure work wasn't the most happy that you had to roll, but you got to take those days.
Absolutely.
So moving on to the Bladed Wedge tee sheet, we're kind of doing two things today. We're going to recap the 3M, and then we're going to preview the WGC FedEx St. Jude's Invitational. So starting out with the 3M, played at TPC Twin Cities in Minnesota. Pretty low-key tournament with Matthew Wolff defending his title from last year. Michael Johnson with his first win since 2013. Pretty impressive playing, especially his bunker shot. In the last three holes, he had 50-yard bunker shot that he hit tight. So he really just closed the tournament well, and the guy doesn't overpower the course or doesn't do a lot of really special things. But man, he is very consistent with his swing. What were your big takeaways?
I mean, I think my biggest takeaway was his first win since 2013. I mean, anytime you have someone like that who's struggled for so long, then come out and play really well and win a tournament, the drive and confidence that he gets after that type of win is just so monumental to his game and validates probably a shitload of hard work that's gone in over the years. So props to him. He closed a really hard tournament with a tough field with a lot of big players behind him, Tony Finau being one of them. So, I mean, nothing but props to him.
Yeah, very impressive. And I don't know, I think you saw it, but if you guys haven't seen his post round interview, super emotional, very, kind of what you talked about of definitely all the hard work and support that his family has given him, kind of really
Yeah.
coming all at once. And it just shows that even without fans, sports does get really emotional. And, it's really hard not to just root for that guy. And with the win, he has entrances into then has his card for the next 2 years and has entrances into a lot of the majors. So couldn't be more excited to watch him play more golf and for him and his family.
Yeah, like think about that. Think about this: 7 years of no wins. I don't even think I haven't seen him on top of like any leaderboards recently. And he comes out, wins, probably gets $1 million plus in cash, and now has basically PGA Tour status for the next 2.5 years, and is in all the major championships. I mean, that must be the most satisfying feeling ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I think I've started to see his name on the leaderboard a little bit more since PGA Tour came back. So again, probably props to him. The guy was definitely grinding during that whole time off, and all the other thing, the way to put it is, he's had his tour card, I think, the whole time. So it's pretty impressive to be able to stay on the tour without winning and being able to grind it out for that long with the confidence that, hey, one day I'm going to put it together and my hard work's going to pay off. And good for him, man. That's really our only takeaway.
Definitely.
And then you touched on this. One of the other storylines with Tony Finau had played some really good golf Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. He was there on the back nine and really couldn't close with a couple big putts, and really just wasn't able to catch Michael Johnson. But overall, really good showing from him. Do you have any concern with his ability to kind of pull it out on Sunday, or do you think he's still kind of in that learning process?
No, I think by now, like he's had enough chances where it's kind of becoming concerning, at least for me. It's almost getting to a like Ricky Fowler type scenario where like Ricky's kind of had the reputation of over the years of not being able to close on Sunday, and he's not there yet, but he's getting close to it. However, he's just so good that I don't think he can realistically continue this drought. Like he's got to break through one of these times.
Yeah, I totally agree. And when I was looking at the leaderboard on Sunday and I was looking at the guys who were kind of in it, he was probably the biggest name out there outside of maybe Matthew Wolff, but he's more of a young guy. So I was definitely expecting him to really take charge of the tournament or at least kind of challenge a little bit more than he did. But, he didn't play terrible. He missed a couple putts coming in, but overall, I think there's some room for improvement, and hopefully we'll see him take one soon.
Yeah, would love to see him win like this week or even like the PGA Championship. That would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's a good guy. Like
yeah.
I love Tony Finau. Like
So
he is a great guy. He's a grinder, well loved on the PGA Tour. So I think everyone's pulling for him. He just needs to get over that initial hump.
Totally agreed. And then the other kind of storyline was Dustin walking off the course with a back injury. He hasn't broken, I don't think he's broken 78 in his last 4 rounds on the tour since winning a couple of weeks ago. So really pretty concerning stuff there. Hopefully he is all, healing up quickly and will be ready to go for the PGA champ.
Yeah, I think he's just getting old.
Yeah.
Like, you could kind of just tell he's just getting up there in years. Like I think he's 35 plus, right?
I think so.
So we're gonna start seeing times where he goes through like injuries just through getting old and the pains of getting old. So these are one of the scenarios where hopefully he can get better and get back out there. But this wasn't really a surprise to me.
Yeah, and like the one thing people forget is that Dustin Johnson is an absolute freak athlete. Like he actually is a freak athlete, and he uses that to hit the golf ball as far as he does, and that definitely puts some strain on your body. So hopefully he can kind of work it out, maybe tweak his swing a little bit to put a little less stress on his back. But obviously, wishing all the best to him.
Yeah, and the back's like nothing to mess around with.
No.
If you have like back, you need to take your time and figure out what's wrong and like make sure it gets healthy, because we all saw what happened to Tiger Woods, obviously.
Yep.
I mean, things could get dicey, and there's so much impact that the golf swing does have on your back when you do swing the club that hard. So,
moving on to the WGC FedEx St. Jude's Invitational starting this Thursday. We're playing at TPC Southwind in Memphis, Tennessee, which is a absolutely beautiful course. If you remember last year, this was an absolutely electric ending with Rory having a one-shot lead going into the final round, and then Brooks coming back on Sunday and overtaking him on the back nine to become the champion. So an electric tournament last year, when I expect the similar things this year. But the one thing that is a little bit hovering over and surprising is no Tiger. I guess maybe surprising is not the right word, as the PGA Championship is next week. But how do you feel about Tiger not playing this week?
So I think emotionally, it's a head scratcher. It's like, I can't believe with him only playing like four competitive rounds this year since the start of the PGA Tour, and then trying to think about him going out and competing next week versus him just playing down at Medalist in Jupiter, Florida. It's definitely concerning, but objectively, he never plays the week before a WGC, and he's won 15 of these.
Right.
So you can't really argue like, why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? Well, he never has played before, and he's always been so successful in these, in the major championships next week. So he would have had another 4 rounds this week because there's no cut. It would have been another 4 competitive rounds where he can really start to figure out, and start playing some of the shots that he's going to need next week in his bag. But, it is what it is. He's going to know what's best for himself, and I don't think he really cares about what other people are saying.
Yeah, and I think from my perspective, the biggest takeaway is Tiger has to be healthy to compete next week. And if he puts 4 rounds on himself, right, 4 days before the start of the PGA, that's really not going to do well for his back, and it's probably a huge issue with his health and with his performance next week. So that's definitely the reason, but hopefully we'll see him next week at the PGA fully healthy and ready to go.
Definitely.
Kind of going on that similar storyline as well, there are a ton of big guys playing this week. Obviously, a WGC, huge purse, big tournament in general. But with the PGA next week, it's really going to be a quick turnaround to get there and get prepared. So we'll see. But I definitely was surprised by how many big names are playing.
Yeah, I think it's a must play tournament. I mean, even with the PGA Championship, I still thought the majority of the players would go and play down in Memphis this week. I mean, a chance to win a WGC is like a step under a major championship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and they went through all of those months of no golf where they knew what they were going to have to get into when they came back to the PGA Tour. It had been a lot of consecutive weeks of golf. So I think a lot of them trained and did the things that they needed to do in that modified off season to make sure that they would be able to play this much golf, down the stretch into the playoffs.
Yep, totally agreed. And then that's a perfect segue into our rotating topic. So we're going to go with who's going to win this week at the WGC and who's going to bomb. I'll let you kick it off, Checo. Who you got to win?
So I'm terrible at these. I don't think I picked one winner ever. But who do I want to win? Rory McIlroy. I would love to see him start to pop off and win a WGC, win like a couple majors in the next couple of years, and just start playing really good golf. I know you would agree with that.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go with who I'm gonna want Rory McIlroy to win this week. Who do I think will bomb? I think Ricky Fowler. I just don't, even with the comeback, like the tournament or the PGA Tour starting back up this year, I just don't think he's played that well. And I don't think we'll see much out of him this week.
Totally agreed. For mine, I got who to win. I got Spieth. He just had his birthday. I was looking at his accolades so far with the 11 wins in the majors. I'm just like, I just am so sad about his performance and how his play has been in the recent years because he was such a huge star in the game. So I'm taking that to change this week. I think Jordan Spieth is going to come out and win and figure it out and get his confidence back heading into a condensed major season. And then to bomb, I'm going to pick two. Both guys I like, so it hurts me to say they're going to bomb. But Webb Simpson, he played terrible at the Memorial a couple weeks ago, and I think that is a huge sign for what he's going to do this week, even after his win earlier this season. So I think he's going to bomb. And then I got Phil. Phil's not played well for a while, and I think his game's really struggling. Obviously, from the PR perspective, he's been killing it, but I think his game is kind of in the toilet, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think what we've seen from Phil in the last couple PGA Tour events he's played in has just been a lot of head scratching. So